So this is Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra 5G, long name, in the Phantom Black. I'm a fan of muted colors. I'm not a fan of bright colors, so despite their heavy advertisement, I still would have gone with the same color. But I had this phone for about 2 days now, and this is purely my own opinion. Purely my own opinion. For those who are considering of buying this phone, and I would say the biggest market for this phone would be those who really care about the specs, those who want the best of the best, simply because what they offer out there, in my opinion, is great already. So if you need something that stands out, or you're just bored with what you have and you need the fastest refresh rate, or you need the slightly brighter display, maybe. I am personally coming from Note 20 Ultra 5G, and for me to decide whether to get this phone or not, honestly speaking, I placed order 3 times and I canceled 2 out of those 3 times, because to justify the need to get S21 Ultra over Note 20 Ultra, like, I had to talk myself into getting it. And I watched several videos on YouTube. There's a lot of people who claim Samsung did it right. Did they? We'll see. For those who are looking for regular use, so if you're like watching videos, listening to music, whether you listening to music on Bluetooth or through USB-C wired headphones, texting, calling, basic use, it's great. But then again, so does Note 20 Ultra. So the slight difference that Samsung, let me zoom in a little. Samsung that was advertising this was their fastest refresh rate. To start off, S21 Ultra is mildly, and I mean mildly, brighter than the Note 20 Ultra. Like, if you go outside in the bright sunlight, this and this, to me, I don't really see the difference. I see both of them equally. But I'm not comparing S21 to Note 20. Both of them are Ultras. Because I just want to show you the difference of when it comes to that display. So let me zoom in. So this has adaptive, which, let me read what it says here. Get smooth animation and scrolling by automatically adjusting your screen refresh rate up to 120 Hertz. And it shows you a little video over there so you can see the difference. Then we go into the resolution WQHD+. I'm a person who prefers resolution over refresh rates, honestly. Same thing when this came. A lot of people like, oh, you know, I rock this phone at 1080 because I care about the refresh rate. If, like I said, if you're using for those basic things that I said earlier, 60 Hertz is perfectly fine. Unless you like gaming, professionally gaming, and I'll go into it in a bit. So you have right here, I have standard, which is 60 Hertz, and which is WQHD+. I'll give you a brief scrolling experience. I'm on Samsung's website. So imagine you open this phone and you're looking, you're reading things. So here you go. Fast. You could pick up whatever the phones you just passed by, then you have this one. So the only difference that I really see is that this slightly stutters. Like when you pass by, like you can see a little, I would say, with ghosting or blurriness, but you can see there's slight stutterness. And then you see it's much smoother over here. But realistically speaking, this is not a decisive factor for me to get an 120 Hertz just for scrolling. Okay? You scroll slowly. You scroll fast. Fast. Slowly. So to do your basic thing, to scroll through a website, I don't think it makes a big difference. I think the refresh rate is mostly, I would say, geared for those who are looking at professional gaming and they need that fast refresh rate because you're competing or something. But I mean, on the phone, really, I mean, the refresh rate, in my opinion, really matters maybe on a television or gaming PC. On the television, if you're watching those sport games and you need that fast refresh rate. But on the phone, I personally don't see the reason of needing that such a high fast refresh rate. Now, going back into the display. So, actually, first, when I got this phone, it's hefty. It also feels thicker. Yes, those corner edges are much nicer because they're not digging into your hands as much as this one does. And after a while, by keeping this in your hand, you get like, feels like a stabbing effect into your arm, in your, in your palm. But this is 6.9 inches. And let me just open up. You see how much smaller this is on the bottom? And then when you turn it to the sideways, it just looks like a regular YouTube mobile app. And let me open up on the Note 20. So here's my YouTube. Look, it gives me sort of like a desktop experience, and I like that better. And then it gives you that on the side. I definitely like this better. First of all of my apps are updated. They're the latest. They're also the latest software on both of them. This gives you more of a mobile experience from what I'm getting it. And this gives you more of a mobile leaning towards tablet experience. I like that better, that I'm getting more of a tablet because it's a big real estate. I don't need mobile experience on a big display. Now, let me go over the things that matter to me the most, and that's sound. So I'll pick both of them. Here you go. We'll pick the same song. Let me get this one going. Let's go over to here. Okay, let me start off playing this one, and I'll bring it up closer so you could hear it. Loudest. Great. Note 20 Ultra has great speakers. But what I like is that with it being only 6.9, so very tiny change in the display from 6.9 to 6.8. And they look, as you can see, they look almost the same size. Look, almost the same size as far as the lengthwise going. Almost the same. Look. Let me bring it up closer. Almost the same. But the real estate, as far as like showing you display, Note 20 just looks much like it gives you a lot more comparing to, and this is what the first thing that I did not like. It just looks like 6.9. You're getting a bigger, and I'll show it to you. Look at the difference. So let's go back here. It's a bigger video experience. So if you're watching movies and you have the Note 20 Ultra, this is a better experience because you get bigger display to watch movies on. Even YouTube, anything that requires video. As far as the sound, I don't see the difference. I think they both sound the same. As far as brightness, this to me, the S20, let me get my S21 box up here so you could see. The S21 Ultra, honestly, is slightly brighter. Slightly. Let me bring up the brightness to the fullest. I don't know if you can see the difference. It's slightly, really slightly. So if you're outside and you're looking at, let's say if it's bright sunlight, you can't really tell the difference. You really can't. So another thing, for those of you that have Kishi remote control, wrong side, this will not fit there. It just won't. The bump is too big. Unlike the Note 20 does. So if you have a Kishi remote control, and to me this was a decisive factor. If you have a Kishi, and I'm not a hardcore gamer, but I do like sometimes play small games, it's a big difference. So it won't fit. It won't. Now, what I use my Note 20, and let me make it less brighter so you could see, and if you want to know what it is, ask me. So for the Note 20, let me open this up. I don't know if you guys heard of this service. Let me log in quickly if it allows me. Here we go. You guys are gonna get excited to find out what this is. All right, so while that's loading and opening, let me lower the brightness on this one. So the fact is that I did not like is it's heavier and it's thicker. Now, the case that you get from Samsung, it's bulky. It's really bulky. So originally, I have the Note 20. One second. I have the Note 20, and this is just a nicer experience. I mean, look at this. All right, so here we go. It's open. Look at this. I have a whole Windows experience on the Note. So if you have, like for example, if you're using a bigger display to have Windows, it works better if you have keyboard attached to it and a mouse, but you get to use a whole Windows experience and play professional window games. Now, if you want to learn more what I'm talking about right here, and I'm probably going to do a video at some point, but if you have questions, just ask. So you get to have a bigger real estate as far as when it comes to using this. And that's where the pen also comes with a good use. Ignore my emails. Let me close this up. There we go. Anyway, so like you have this whole experience, and that's a good thing. And that's another plus. This phone comes with a pen. It's inside. Nothing affects it as far as like your speakers aren't affected just because you still have a good camera. You still have the memory card in here, which you lose on this. There's no S Pen here. There's no memory card here. All you could is, where is it? Here, is to apply, you can see right there, to put a SIM card in there. But you need to buy an S Pen for this phone, so that's an extra spending. And what do you really get in exchange? Slightly larger battery than the Note 20 Ultra. Slightly brighter, but like I said, you can't really tell the difference. And the refresh rate, which doesn't really, in my opinion, it doesn't make such a big difference. If for you guys who really need that refresh rate and you'll need that high resolution, yes, no brainer, this is the one you should go with if it's a must. But if you just need the best display, both of them are great. But I just think the Note 20 gives you much more for what you get out of this phone than you get out of this. At the same time, I asked people, let me actually do this so you guys see this. I want you to guys see the difference. I'm gonna make this so you don't, okay, let me see which one. Okay. I want you to guys see the difference when it comes to, let me see if I lower this because it's too bright. No, it's okay. So for you guys to see the difference when it comes to, let's say, the HDR quality on the display. Okay. Let me lower the volume because I don't want people copywriting me for it. Okay. All right. Let me see. As long as you could see the difference. All right, so this is the HDR display that you could see. I need to pick something that the same because somehow it's not showing me the same video. Okay, let's pick this one, which always works. Here we go. Here we go. It's windy in New York today. Okay, so we're at 18, almost the same. Almost the same. All right, let me see if the brightness, yeah. So this is S21 Ultra. Let me, and this is the Note. Like the video experience on the Note is just a lot better. It gives you bigger display. The colors are the same. the sound is the same. So if you have, in my opinion, Note 20 Ultra, I wouldn't recommend getting S21 Ultra. I had S20 Ultra. If you really need that big bump as far as the stability in the camera, to some people that's important, to me it wasn't. So if you need to jump, and I mean, Samsung is offering good as far as trade-in value. So if you still want to spend some and just upgrade, then do it. But for me, honestly, I'm going to return this phone because I am getting a better, in my opinion, value with the Note 20 Ultra. Look, I mean, look at it. What else do you really need? The display is great. Sound is great. Comes with the S Pen. If you have a Kishi, fits. Has a better, let me put it in, has a better case. I'm a fan of using Samsung flip cases, and this just offers much better. So let me go here. Then you get this big chunk of dunk of a display, huge display. I mean, case. Ugh. This is a big bulk. Look at this. Look at the difference. This thing's huge. Yeah, Samsung gives you this. I don't really care. Smart tag, okay. I think to me that's just another gimmick that Samsung has. Those tags. So this was my brief experience, in my opinion, when it comes to S21 Ultra, comparing it briefly to Note 20 Ultra. To me, this is going back, and I'm just going to stick with my Note 20 Ultra just because what it offers. For those of you who have a 2-year-old phone, in my opinion, yes, S21 is a big jump. But let me quickly go over videos, right? Here, I took a picture of this person. And let me just zoom in for that amazing clarity, as they're saying Samsung offers. It's blurry. I don't know if you could see it. And this person was about 3 feet away. It is blurry. Blurry. So I don't think their cameras are on par with one of the best out there. It's difficult to see on the camera, but it's really, really blurry, this picture. So I would recommend making a decision to get this phone over this phone based on the camera, because Samsung still needs to go back and work on their software. I think they have here what they need for best cameras out there, but they need to work on the software. That's about it. So if you want me to show you some videos on this, on the Kishi, more comparison between both, let me know. Or if you want this whole Windows experience, which let me show it to you again. Let me show it to you. Okay. This is a great experience. With this, you could buy yourself one of those Qualcomm chips laptops that cost so little, and this has NVIDIA 1060, if I'm not wrong. This is a gaming PC in the background. It's not in my house. It's a cloud service, so you don't own this. There is a subscription, but it's a small subscription price. But what you get out of it is so much better. So if you want me to do a video on ability of using Windows on your Samsung phones, on your tablets, on your computers, you could literally use this service on almost all. And it's a very powerful PC, offers you what you need in the palm of your hand. So if you really want me to go over and do some videos on that, let me know. But at this point, I think I'm done giving my opinion. Conclusion, if you have a Note 20, skip S21. If you have questions about S21, ask. If you have questions about any of the products I just mentioned, ask. Thanks for watching.